Aha! If I push the button right, this is. You want to know why? Ask how. Howard the Humongous. Why is Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel so afraid of Iran getting a nuclear weapon? After all, when most states get nuclear weapons, they turn peaceful. They stop making war. Look at the Cold War. It was one of the most remarkable periods of peace that we've ever had. Surely there's mutual assured destruction. Surely Israel, with its 100 to 200 nuclear weapons and its submarines, would flatten Iran if Iran ever touched Israel with nuclear weapons. The fact of the matter is, Iran, if it had 3 nuclear weapons, would nuke Israel in a second. Why? Iran is after great power status. It wants to be on a par with Britain and the United States. And then it wants to be well ahead of Britain and the United States and leave them in the dust. If you are a human social group, if you are a human individual, how do you achieve greatness? Well, how did Alexander the Great achieve greatness? How did Julius Caesar achieve greatness? How did Napoleon and even Mohammed achieve greatness? By killing. In the Yanomama tribe in the Orinoco Basin in Brazil, if you are a member of the Yanomama, the more of your fellow humans you kill, the more wives you get, the more power you get, the more stature you get. Of course, they have to be the members of another tribe. It works the same in history. The more people you kill, the more you become not just Alexander of Macedon, but Alexander the Great. And the Iranians, who have a long history of empire, know this fact. Point number 2. Why nuke Israel? It's easy. All you need is 2 or 3 nukes. With 3 nukes, you can take out Tel Aviv, Haifa, and Jerusalem. Those are the only 3 cities in Israel. That is Israel. Those 3 cities, and Israel is gone. Or you can try another gambit. You can take out Tel Aviv and Haifa and leave Jerusalem alone, and with no Israel to support Jerusalem, you can take Jerusalem back for the Arabs, who have been invading it ever since approximately 644 AD. Invading it as imperialists and colonialists, as unwelcome, at least to Jews like me who've lived in the place. Our people have lived in the place for 3,200 years. These are unwelcome imperialist, colonialist conquerors. But they've done it before. They sure as hell want to do it again. What about retaliation? Wouldn't Israel retaliate? There's a very good chance that Israel would never lay a nuclear finger on Iran after an attack that wipes out all of Israel. Why? Because attacking and wiping out Iran, to the best of Israel's ability, would make the Jewish people still left on planet Earth, us members of the Jewish exodus, would turn us into pariahs. It would make us look like exactly what the Arabs have and the Muslims have been trying to get you. The Muslim lobby, it's 57 countries that spends a fortune on PR and lobbying in the United States. They have been trying to convince you for 60-some years, 67 years, that Zionists and Jews are Nazis. We are not. I am not. But if we were going to wipe out Iran in retaliation, the world would swallow the Nazi line about us Jews and Zionists. Okay, well, what about America? America would surely retaliate. America would surely wipe out Iran. No, America wouldn't. America would not use a single nuclear weapon. America does not want to start World War III. And it just so happens that Iran is not alone in the world. It has allies. And one of those allies is Russia. And Russia has more nuclear weapons than the United States, by a long shot. And Vladimir Putin is not afraid to use weapons. He knows that the more people he kills, the greater he is. Just look at what's happening in Eastern Europe right now. Then there's Hashemi Rafsanjani, who is the 4th president of Iran. He was a member of the Assembly of Experts until 2011, and he is still the chairman of the Iranian Revolution's Expediency Discernment Council. Rafsanjani, in 2011, or in 2001, sorry, said, hey, we can use nukes on Israel if we get them. It's easy. Why? Because, and here's his quote, the use of even one nuclear bomb inside Israel will destroy everything. However, it will only harm the Islamic world. It will only be a scratch on the Islamic world. Why? Because the Islamic world is 1.6 billion people. The Islamic world stretches 13,500 miles. The Islamic world includes 57 countries. The Islamic world includes countries that were conquered and colonized from the death of Muhammad in 632 AD for the next 100 years, producing an empire that is 11 times the size of the conquest of Alexander the Great, 5 times the size of the Roman Empire, and 7 times the size of the United States. All of that empire would be untouched, with the exception of a small swatch in Iran, if Israel retaliated. Untouched. And how would the Islamic world feel about the Iranians if the Iranians managed to eliminate Israel? Iran would be the superhero of the Middle East. People would celebrate. Muslims would celebrate all over the world. And because force makes you great, and the use of killing makes you great, Iran would suddenly be not just on a par with England and the United States, in certain ways, on top of them. Why would Iran nuke Israel? It's easy, and the payoff is enormous. This is Howard the Humongous, speaking to you from the future. It's your job and my job to make, or want to know why. Ask how. And now for the sleazy, slimy, sneaky, insidious, impossible to find, little silver